Hello students, hope you all are well. I wish for your good health. Now here I am again with another video on chapter number 1 of supplementary reader of class 8. That is how the camel got his hump. Now this is a very interesting story that is written by Rudyard Kipling. This is a humorous story that describes how the camel, due to its laziness, got a hump on his back. Although the hump was given to the camel as a punishment for his laziness and behavior, yet it proved to be better for his life. So let's start the explanation of this interesting story along with the hard words and their meanings. In the beginning, when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel. He lived in the middle of a howling desert because he did not want to work. He ate sticks and thorns and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him, he said, "Humph, just humph, and no more." So it was actually the beginning of the world, and there were so many animals like dog, horse, ox, donkey, and so many more. They have just started doing the work for man. Now, along with these all animals, there was an animal named camel who was living in the middle of the howling desert. And why he was there in the middle of the desert? Because he was just not interested in doing any work. And he was eating sticks and thorns and prickles because he was not doing any sort of work. So whatever was nearby him, he was just eating. And those things were sticks, thorns and prickles. So let me tell you what thorns and prickles are. A sharp protective spine of a plant that is called the thorns and the prickles, like you have seen on cactus also. And when anybody spoke to him, when anybody goes near to him and tries to speak, he was just responding in humph. What was he saying? Just humph and nothing more. Presently the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and said, "Camel, oh camel, come out and trot like the rest of us." "Humph," said the camel, and the horse went away and told the man. Now soon horse came to him on the Monday morning with a saddle on his back. Saddle is actually a seat for a rider that is placed on the back of the horse or any of the animal. So he came to camel and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and trot like me." So trotting is actually a movement that is made by the horse, especially that is lower than running and more than walking. So again the response that came from the side of the camel was humph. And then after, the horse went away from there and he went to the man to tell all about this. Presently the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us." "Humph," said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. Now soon came one animal that was named dog, and he said to camel, "Camel, oh camel, come and fetch the things with me." Like about dog, you know very well that the people who are just training the dogs, or they are making the dog as their pet, they throw something, and the work of the dog is to bring that thing and return it back to the owner. So it was the work that the dog was doing. Now he said the camel to do the same thing, and again the camel replied in humph. Then after, the dog also went away to tell the man what has happened with him. Presently the ox came to him with a yoke on his neck. Now came the ox and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us." Now the ox came to this camel with a yoke. Yoke is actually a long piece of wood. You might have seen some of the animals are having on their neck. Basically two animals are there and they are having a wood piece fixed across the neck of two animals, and it is specially to pull heavy loads or carrying other things. and they are sometimes used for the animals who are used in farming. So the ox also said, come and plow like rest of us, like we people are plowing, or we are digging and turning over the soil for farming. So why don't you do this type of thing with us, this sort of work with us? Humph, said the camel, and the ox went away and told the man. Again the reply from the side of camel was humph, and then away he went, and just to man to tell what has happened with him. At the end of the day, the man called the horse and the dog and the ox together and said, 303, I'm very sorry for you, but that hump thing in the desert can't work, or he would have been here by now. So I am going to leave him alone, and you must work double time to make up for it. Now at the end of the day, the man called the horse, the dog and the ox together and said that I'm very sorry for three of you because that hump thing. Now he is just responding for the camel, because that hump thing is not doing any sort of work in the desert. And now what you have to do, that I'm going to leave him alone, but you three have to do double work, because camel has not done any sort of work. That made the three very angry, and they held a panchayat on the edge of the desert, and the camel came chewing cud and laughed at them. Then he said humph and went away again. Now this thing made three of them very angry. They grew very angry at the thing that they have to do double work, and they held a panchayat at the end of the desert. Now what was the thing they did? They held a panchayat. Now in the panchayat came the camel, and he was chewing the cud and laughing at them because he has done no sort of work. So he was laughing at them and he was chewing the cud. Chewing the cud is a phrase. Now it is actually a process that is actually happens in animals who bring back the food that they had swallowed back in their mouth and chew it again. You might have seen the white foam. It is the outcome of chewing the cud. So then after coming at the panchayat, he was laughing and chewing the cud, and again the camel said humph and went away again. He didn't stop there. Presently there came along the jinn who was in charge of all deserts, rolling in a cloud of dust. Now then there came the jinn who was the in charge of all the deserts. Now he was coming there in rolling in a cloud of dust. Jinn of all deserts, said the horse, is it right for anyone to be idle? Now the horse asked one question to the jinn. Please tell me, it is right for anyone to be idle? Idle means lazy, the person who is not doing any sort of work. So certainly not, said the jinn. The jinn replied, no, it's really very bad for any of the person not to perform any sort of work. Well, said the horse, there's a thing in the middle of your desert with a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. He won't trot. Now the horse said, well, there is a thing in the middle of your desert. In the middle of the desert, there is a thing who is having a long neck and long legs. To whom the horse is referring? He is referring to camel. And he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. And since Monday morning, he has not performed any duty. He won't trot. Trot, actually, it is the way of horse to do the work. So he just made the jinn know that this camel has not trot like him. View, said the jinn, whistling. That's my camel. What does he say about it? View, it is actually an exclamatory word. It is used to express surprise in context to our chapter. View, He was whistling at that time and he was very surprised. Oh, that's my camel. What does he say about it? What is he saying about it? He says humph and he won't blow, said the ox. Now the ox said, only what he is saying about is humph and nothing else, and he is not blowing. Now this is the answer from the side of the ox. Very good, said the jinn. I'll humph him if you kindly wait a minute. Now jinn said, okay, what I'll do, I will hump him. I will give him some sort of punishment. Now just give me a minute. The jinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak and took a walk across the desert and found the camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. My friend, said the jinn, what's this? I hear of you doing no work. The jinn sat down with his chin in his hand while the camel looked at his own reflection in the pool of water. You have given the 3 extra work ever since Monday morning, all on account of your idleness, said the jinn, and he went on thinking with his chin in his hand. Now in the second part, the jinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak. Cloak is actually a dress that is used to cover the body. Here the dust is the cloak or the dress of jinn. So he just rolled himself in his dust cloak and just came across the desert and found the camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. And what was the camel doing there? He was just looking at his own reflection in his pool of water. Now he said to camel, my friend, what's this? I hear of you doing no work. Now he's asking the question to the camel very politely. My friend, this is what I'm hearing about you, that you have done no sort of work. Now jinn sat down and he was holding his chin in his hand while the camel didn't respond anything to him. But what he was doing, he was viewing his own reflection in the pool of water. You have given the 3 extra work ever since Monday morning. Now he said that since Monday morning you haven't done any sort of work, and those 3 animals, the horse, the ox and the dog, they are doing double work, all on account of your idleness. And because they are doing the whole double work, why? Because they are doing the work because you haven't done anything. It is just because of your idleness, said the jinn. And he went on thinking with his chin in his hand. Whatever the jinn was asking the question and saying anything to the camel, he was not responding in any of the answer. Now what he was doing, he was just viewing his reflection in the water, and jinn was holding his chin with his hand. Now the answer came from the side of the camel. Humph, said the camel. Again the answer, humph. I shouldn't say that again if I were you, said the jinn. You might say it once too often. I want you to work. And the camel said, humph again. But no sooner had he said it than he saw his back that he was so proud of, puffing up into a big hump. Now, I shouldn't say that again if I were you. The jinn said, if I were at your side, I shouldn't have said this humph again and again. You might say it once too often. I want you to work. Now what I want from your side is you should go and work. And the camels again said humph. And what started happening? Now the back of the camel, it started puffing up and up into a great big hump. Do you see that? Said the jinn. That's your very own hump that you have brought upon your very own self by not working. Today is Thursday and you have done no work since Monday. When the work began, now you are going to work. How can I, said the camel, with this hump on my back? Now the jinn tells the camel that this is the very own hump that has been brought on your back by his own selfishness and lack of activity, because he has not performed any sort of work since Monday. Now he said, this is Thursday. Now 3 days are gone and you haven't done even a single sort of work. So when will the work begin? Now this time you are going to do work. Now the camel said, how can I do the work with this hump on my back? How could I be able to perform my duties? That is the purpose, said the jinn, all because you missed those 3 days. You will be able to work now for 3 days without eating, because you can live on your hump. And don't you ever say, I never did anything for you. Come out of the desert and go to the tree and behave. Now the jinn said and explains him that this hump will hold enough fuel for him. Means this hump is going to have a lot much of energy. So he is not going to be tired for those 3 days work. So without eating anything, without drinking the water, and he will perform his duties. And it is better known to everyone that the hump is having energy, it is having fat in it. So the energy is released and the animal or the camel is able to perform his duties. Now he said, the jinn said, now okay, go to the desert with the 3 animals. To which 3 animals? The ox, the horse and the dog, and behave and do the work with them in a very nice manner. And the camel went away to join the 3, and from that day to this, the camel always wears a hump. We call it hump now, not to hurt his feelings, but he has never yet caught up with the 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world, and he has never yet learned how to behave. Now the camel goes to join the 3 animals, and from that day always has a hump. The camel has yet to catch up with the work he missed in the beginning of time, and he has not yet learned how to behave. Still, for this time, the camel is saying hump. So here we finish the story, the explanation of this chapter. I'll be back soon with a new chapter and its explanation. Till then, goodbye.